everyone, my name is Evie Lupine. Welcome back to my channel, and today I have another video for you all. Today, I know we have been spending a lot of time talking about some pretty heavy subjects from Armie Hammer to Marilyn Manson, and so I thought what we could do is just slow it down for a minute, talk about something that's not consequential in the slightest, but is still mildly rage-inducing enough, I think, to be entertaining to listen to. And of course, the news on Twitter this week dropped the perfect subject in my lap, because who at this point could be less consequential than Jeffree Star? And I know what you're thinking, Evie, oh my god, are you okay? Please blink twice if you are fine. What is going on here? Have you had your brain swapped with a drama YouTuber, a commentary channel? What is happening here? And I'm just here to say, please don't worry. I have not had any flying saucers visit me. No aliens have done any weird medical experiments on my brain. I'm still just who I am. However, for some reason, in the year of our Lord of 2021, the planet has decided that this is going to be the time where BDSM is brought into the spotlight over and over and over again due to celebrity controversy. And today, that person that's doing that just happens to be Jeffree Star. And if you don't know who Jeffree Star is, he has been around for a fairly long time at this point. He was well known on MySpace as sort of a scene queen. He was a music person. He was a performer, and in the last couple of years, he's really become more well known as a makeup guru as well as an owner of his own makeup brand. Now, over all of this time that he's been on the internet, he has pretty much always been controversial, to say the very least. Everything from getting into a feud with his former friend, Kat Von D, over stolen artwork, all the way over to accusations of racism. Now, if you want to know about that stuff, this is not the channel for it. Many other people have covered that in great detail, which I'm not going to do here. However, suffice to say that we do not stan Jeffree Star in this house, and we never have, despite how freaking cute all of his Pomeranians are. But back to the subject at hand. People, mainstream celebrities, using kink and BDSM is nothing new. We have been seeing this for a very long time, everything from runway fashion shows to Taylor Swift music videos giving us some pretty mixed messaging as far as the kink is concerned, all the way over to people serving some really amazing latex looks like Nicki Minaj or Megan Thee Stallion. People have been using kink as shorthand for edgy, a new era in a musician's career, signifying a powerful sexual woman, or just to drum up controversy for the last 20 or 30 years, and people keep falling for it and people keep talking about it. And yes, I am including myself in the category of people who are falling for it and talking about it. However, I think I have a pretty good reason for it because I am a member of the BDSM community and I just want to get my perspective out there. And Jeffree Star himself is no stranger to this. He named a puppy Dominatrix. He also has many shade names in his collection, things like, again, Dominatrix, Abused, Vanilla Latex, Voyeurism, Silk Rope. Most of these names actually come from a recent collection that he did called the Orgy Collection. This was, I think, in August of 2020. At the time, it was very controversial because of how crass a lot of these shade names were. Also because the quality was definitely not there. A lot of people had problems with their products. And so it wasn't really just that the sexualized nature of the names themselves were that much of an issue. We've had things in makeup like the very famous NARS Orgasm Blush over to the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. However, the way that Jeffree did it just seemed to take it up to another level that people really weren't that comfortable with. But I suppose all of the chatter about the Orgy Collection was taken as a good thing over at Jeffree Star headquarters, because it seems like they looked at each other and went, we need to do the same thing again, but like more this time, because his most recent release makes the orgy palette look like modest makeup for honoring and loving God by comparison, and the promo photos look a little something like this. And yes, you read that correctly. Jeffree Star released the Fck Proof Mascara, and he leaned into the edgy BDSM aesthetic as much as he physically could. And let me tell you guys, this thing sold out, which just does not happen anymore the way that it used to with Jeffree Star Cosmetics. However, I am not here to talk about the mascara. I am here to roast the shit out of these promotional photos, because when I saw this on Twitter, I thought it was a joke. So let us take a cathartic journey through these promotional materials and just see some of the little funny things that we can point out here. So the first image that we have is this all red kind of padded cell looking layout where we have this guy in this lucha libre-esque latex outfit, barely cuffed to a star bondage wall that just looks so precariously perched up against that wall, it literally makes me anxious to look at. Then, next to that, we have this girl in a purple Party City looking wig, ineffectually just gently holding a paddle next to Jeffree Star's cheek, and just there's a lot going on here. I cannot get over the bondage wall. It does not look structurally sound in any way. It makes me nervous for everyone involved in this shoot. The cuffs as well, I'm not sure if this is actually a good thing or a bad thing in relation to how unsteady the material is that he's connected to. But the cuffs look like you could fit 2 hands through them, not just one. And then, like, why do we have this weird cropping going on where everything is like shifted down to the left? It's like his photographer like quit on him like immediately following doing this photo shoot. And then you're looking at this and you're like, okay, this is a promotional photo for the mascara. Where is the mascara in this photo? Well, zoom and enhance, my friends. Zoom and enhance, because there it is, tucked in to the Lucha Libre's mankini is the mascara. And you guys are not ready for this, because here is the actual full-on picture of the mascara. And you know what? The tube design, the woven leather, I think it looks cool. I cannot imagine how dirty that would get in most people's makeup collections, but like if that was just what it was, I would probably be okay with it. But when you take a closer look, they have this like 25 cents little purse tassel clipped on to the end that they're like, this is a flogger. And it's like, no, that's not a flogger. I have literally gotten that for free when random companies on Amazon send things to my P.O. box. Are you seriously telling me this is connected to a luxury mascara? You can't make this up, folks. Somebody thought this was a good idea. Like what is the idea for this? Are you going to be like touching up your mascara in the office bathroom, and then when all your coworkers are gone, you're going to like gently flog yourself against the face with it? Oh, I'm such a bad girl. I'm such a bad girl. And you're supposed to like go and do meetings. Like what is the practical point of this? Like this would make a great like bachelorette party novelty, like maybe $5 thing, but this is a luxury mascara supposedly, and they couldn't do a little bit better. Come on now guys. And really, if you needed to know anything else about Jeffree Star's connection to BDSM, just be aware that at almost all times he refers to this flogger as a whip. Now, I know in certain parts of the UK, for example, they kind of use whip as like a more general kind of blanket term for a lot of thrown implements, and so, you know, sometimes people call floggers whips. It's not necessarily always bad, but Jeffree Star is an American. If he really knew what floggers were, he probably wouldn't be calling it a whip. But honestly, this is not even the most offensive part of all of this, because they just had to take it that extra step further, and then they committed this sin against God that is putting this mascara in micro bondage. Yep. You're looking at the same image I am. They got a little tiny shibari ring, and they put the mascara in micro bondage. Again, guys, you can't make this up. Somebody thought this was like a good idea for promotional material for, again, a mascara. and they got it all trussed up there like they're doing some kind of Kimbaku performance in Tokyo. And you know, it's interesting because all I can get from this is that like Jeffree Star is basically some kind of BDSM poser. And it's tacky, it's mildly offensive. But here's the question though. What do I really think at the end of this, despite laughing at the photos? What are my honest opinions about this mascara and its like impact on the wider BDSM community? I certainly think that it's tacky. I think it's borderline kind of offensive because it's obviously so cheap, but it's being sold at a higher end price point. Honestly, I haven't really been this offended since Goop tried to sell restraints that looked like they were made from garbage bags for $1,350. Now, Jeffree Star does not go anywhere near the level of offense in terms of just outrageous price point, but it's just the weirdest form of like, look at me, I'm so edgy, I'm so cool, that I really haven't seen since the MySpace days. And maybe that's where Jeffree still belongs. But do I think this is like some hardcore, offensive cultural appropriation of the BDSM community? No, I just think it's a tacky, cheap cash grab. I mean, it certainly worked. It did sell out, although we don't really know how many units they made. So if you sell out of 1,000 units and you normally sell out of 100,000, that's a little bit of a different story. It's just kind of annoying to so continuously see the BDSM community be shunned by the larger world still to this day, where when you have a celebrity do it, it's suddenly edgy and cool and everyone's like really, really into it. Like I would hope at some point we would finally grow out of that particular behavior pattern. Now, just as some quick little bonus tea here for people that like the tea, I have it on good authority that a quite famous rentable dungeon named Dungeon West, which is located I think in either LA or Hollywood, they were apparently contacted a couple months ago for some photo shoot promotional work to do at their facility for a makeup company. Now, Jeffree Star is located in the Hollywood, LA area, so I can't really think of who else it would be. However, they apparently never heard back from this person, so I guess Jeffree Star's company just like left Dungeon West on red. And there was actually some additional controversy that happened when this was released. There's a small kind of makeup, personal care, I don't know what category to call it. There was a small company, anyways, that was called Ho Cosmetics. And originally when this came out, they went on like their stories on Instagram or something to basically accuse Jeffree Star of stealing their idea because they are a brand that is owned by a former escort, and they have had for a long time a mascara that they call the Fck Proof Mascara, which is also in sort of this luxury black packaging. However, it's not in any way like this faux leather like flogger stuff. It's just a mostly like plain black tube essentially. And people, weirdly enough, were like on Jeffree Star's side about this and literally chased Ho Cosmetics off of like all of their social media accounts. So I can't actually find any details or record of like how this really happened. But suffice to say, the Jeffree Star fans really ran Ho Cosmetics off of the internet in a lot of ways just because they came out and said that, hey, this looks like a similar idea. Now, again, I don't have the details, so I'm not really sure whose side that I'm on, but you know, for me, it kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth when, like, a company that's, like, owned by a sex worker that makes products for sex workers is, like, chased off of social media simply for saying that, like, hey, this is something similar to what we did, and this kind of, like, doesn't sit right with us. However, that is pretty much all the time that I have. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little foray into pointless social media babbling. I found it personally refreshing because I have been researching more Marilyn Manson stuff and my brain just really needed a break. So if you guys have any other stories like this you want me to cover, other questions, comments, your thoughts about all this, leave it down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, if you really like this video, I normally make stuff very different from this, you know, the very typical BDSM education 101 type videos, but sometimes I guess I'm gonna do stuff like this as well just because somebody in the BDSM community has to make comments about this because otherwise people are just gonna not know what our perspective is when people use our aesthetic on their makeup products and such like. However, if you really enjoyed this, if you want to support what I do here on this channel, help me make videos like this one possible, the best way you can do that is through Patreon. The link to that one will be down in the description box below as well. And we are currently working toward 1,000 patrons. I do have a goal on there when we get to 1,000 patrons that I may start a little bit of a drama podcast. So if you are interested, I guess, in actually more content like this that goes outside of the BDSM community and connection, that would be the way to do that. If you already support me over there, thank you so much. It means the absolute world to me. And until I see you guys next time, I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.